Breaking news, MS Now has learned that Pakistan is currently trying to salvage U.S.-Iran talks in Switzerland after several threats from President Trump upset the Iranian delegation. A bit earlier, Vice President J.D. Vance said great progress has been made in those discussions. Joining me now is Virginia Congressman Suhas Subramanian. He serves on the Oversight, Science and Ethics Committees. Welcome back, Congressman. It's good to have you. And as we know, these talks are right now in danger of collapsing because President Trump rattled off a series of threats against Iran. How unprecedented is it for the President of the United States to get in the way as his delegation is trying to negotiate a peace deal?
Well, it's unprecedented for any other president, but for President Trump, this is par for the course, right? He issues these threats on social media and in interviews with other outlets, and they basically get in the way of peace. And that's sort of why this war started in the first place. It was a diplomatic failure, a failure to try to actually get a real deal with Iran and actually address their nuclear program. Now we're in a spot where we're trying to address their nuclear program as well as the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran now has even more leverage. And all this is because the president, one, issues threats from back here in the U.S., and two, sends his son-in-law to negotiate in the first place, and now vice president, who he's not on the same page with.
So, Congressman, Lebanon appears 3 times in the opening line of the MOU, and a call for all fighting to stop in Lebanon is part of the agreement. Did the Trump administration not anticipate continued hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah?
I think it should have, but obviously, based on their actions, it did not. The reality is, as you try to negotiate a deal, when Lebanon is on the table, you have to be working with your partner, Israel in this case. And Israel has no intentions on ending this war, it seems, unless it gets what it wants. And that doesn't appear in the horizon. We're in a joint operation with another country, Israel, that doesn't have the same objectives as we do. They want regime change. They want to continue this war. They want the U.S. to continue hostilities. And so this is not going to be an easy peace deal because of that. Again, back in February, this would have been a lot easier, but because we are where we are now because of this war, this is a lot harder to negotiate.
And reopening the Strait of Hormuz, it is one of Iran's only concessions in the MOU, and it is certainly a point of tension for agreeing to a ceasefire. The most difficult issue is what to do about Iran's nuclear program and uranium stockpile, and that was left for the next round of talks. Iran also gets sanctions relief and a massive $300 billion reconstruction fund. Is, sir, the MOU the best place to start negotiating a permanent end to this war if the administration expects to achieve its broader goals? I mean, what is to keep Iran talking if they get sanctions relief and money to rebuild?
That's right. And when we say rebuild a regime, not their country, not their people. Iran's going to take this $300 billion. They're going to take all this money, and they're going to enrich their own regime and entrench their own regime. And so that's why the money is so critically
there are no restrictions on how this money is used? You mean they could take the military that the U.S. has effectively destroyed with the bombing campaign and rebuild it?
There might be restrictions on paper, but I don't trust this regime, right? And so, again, we go back to the JCPOA in 2015. There were extreme restrictions on how the money was released, and it was only money that was the result of sanctions based on the nuclear deal, and that if they, were able to comply with the nuclear deal in phases, they would get money in phases. None of that right now is being worked out. Right now, they're just the administration is desperate at this point. They're just trying to keep the Strait of Hormuz open. They're trying to talk about all the good news. They're in a bad political situation. They're in a bad policy situation. And so they're playing damage control. And Iran knows that in these deals. And so Iran can make all sorts of demands, and this administration has to be responsive to that. And the president, meanwhile, wants to talk tough, wants to talk about how he's going to carpet bomb Iran and all this stuff. The Iranian regime doesn't care about its people, right? So to them, you carpet bomb away. We don't care.
Domestically, President Trump said Saturday that multiple people were arrested for allegedly vandalizing the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, which has been plagued with algae and peeling paint. The more than $16 million renovation was supposed to give the water that American flag blue appearance, but now it has an unmistakable green hue, and Trump said work will begin immediately to repair its surface. What's your response to the president making unsubstantiated accusations that the pool was sabotaged? And by the way, is the same company that did the renovation, are they going to get the do-over too?
Yeah, this is the president lying in order to cover up a massive failure and mistake. And in this case, a mistake regarding a vanity project, right? This is one of many vanity projects that the president has endeavored. And here, it was another no-bid contract to a supporter of the president. That's been a theme in contracting. Remember, they said they were going to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, but it's been the most wasteful administration in modern American history. And in this case, they're literally ruining the landscape of our country. And so now we're in damage control going into the 4th of July. We have to figure out what to do with this. I want an investigation in how this contract was awarded, how it was executed, and why we're where we are right now. And this needs to be fixed before the 4th of July because this is America's 250th anniversary.
Absolutely. We are almost there, Congressman Suhas Subramaniam. It's always good to have you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.